Now I will call upon Sandeep Kishore, MD and CEO for Zensar Technologies. Zensar is going through a digital transformation phase, and it continues to acquire capabilities, invest in terms of its business inorganically and organically to take up the market share in terms of its revenue upwards from 38%, which is there currently in terms of digital, to over 50%. Let us understand the story from Sandeep. Thanks.
Pramod has already set the goal, so I think my job is quite easy after this. Well, good morning and hello and a warm welcome. Good to be here talking again to all of you. As Mr. Goenka in his opening comments mentioned, let me share the story of transformation. But before I get into specifically about what we are doing at Zensar, it is a fascinating time for the IT and the digital industry itself. And over the next 15 minutes or so, I will actually touch upon some key themes which are significantly impacting the industry itself, and hence what should we be doing and what are we doing at Zensar to make sure that we are A, relevant to our customers, and B, investing into the future, which we really need to focus on and start to be more aligned to what matters most to our customers. We've all been talking about digital. The first time I was here, now 2.5 years ago, we talked about the pivot that we are doing in our company at Zensar to focus on being a living digital company. Digital is the business. If you're not a digital company, the customers, the global customer that we work with, it has significant headwind and impact for themselves. And hence the next phase of digital is what we call full-scale digital. Digital at full potential. And I will touch upon a few of the examples on each one of these categories as we build the journey together. The second is about automation, and combined with artificial intelligence, the autonomics part of it. A lot of work today is being done in a far more automated fashion than what we have ever seen before. And this has dramatic impact in the way the industry itself has to shape. It has dramatic impact also on where we need to be investing into building the capabilities of the future. And I'll touch upon some of the work that we are doing for our customers in those areas. Third, and a very critical strategic shift which is happening in the industry today, is no longer a pure play services industry. It's no longer a pure play consulting industry. It's moving quite rapidly into an IP platform plus services. So customers in the digital world that we work with them are competing head on a daily basis. Digital creates completely new category of business. It creates completely new companies themselves. And hence go-to-market and time to market actually becomes one of the most important aspects on what we have to compete with. And you can no longer create the competitive differentiators if it is a pure play services. So hence the return on digital and the IP and the platform that we have created, the patents that we have filed in our company over the last couple of quarters is a critical aspect of the go-forward strategy itself. Number 4 is what we call multi-nodal buyer. In a traditional IT sector, the buyers are the chief information officers. The buyers are the chief technology officers. We have now started to see over the last couple of years that the CMOs, the marketing organization, the supply chain organization, the manufacturing organization, the chief digital officer, they have all started to play a very critical role in decision making. In many of the cases, they are the decision makers themselves. And hence, the alignment of solutioning, the alignment of competencies and capabilities built to address the need of buyers from all constituents in a large global enterprise becomes a very pivotal point itself. Number 5, and Mr. Goenka talked about it, is the M&A. We are very sharply focused to make sure that we identify the areas of build versus buy, and we've identified 12 areas in our company in the last 2 years that we are going to be acquiring. And we are an acquisitive company. Over the last 18 months, we have done 3 very successful acquisitions, and acquisition is going to be a key part of our growth lever itself. And finally, who delivers all of this? When you work with the customer, we have a responsibility to make sure that we create talent which is relevant to the marketplace, which is relevant to the industry, which is relevant to the future, which we create jointly with our customers. So digital talent is a critical aspect of what you actually do with the customer segment. Digital at full potential is the number one mantra of the growth that we are focused on in our company. This just captures you of, we've just crossed $50 million of quarterly digital revenue into the last quarter of business that we delivered. Overall, at the company level, 38% of the business now is digital. We were probably among the first company 8 quarters ago which actually started calling out digital as a percentage of overall business. And now the entire industry has caught up. Last quarter, I was actually so pleased to see every single IT company here in India has now started calling digital as a percentage of their business because it is the right thing to do. So at 38%, I think we are among the top 1 or 2 today as a percentage of the business. And then we also publicly state on what constitutes digital. It's about experience, it's about commerce, it's about omni-channel, certainly about cloud, analytics, artificial intelligence, and so that you are completely transparent with all of you here in the investment and the analyst community of what we say is digital. And it is transparently available to our customers, to all of you, and of course to our own Zensarians around the world. Different aspects of the business have different growth momentum. Within the different sector that we operate, which is retail, financial services, and manufacturing, the propensities are higher. As you can actually see here, experience-led digital offering. All of us are consumers. We all love to buy things on those magical, lovely devices that we carry around with us all the time. And the reason we are hooked to it is A, because of experience, B, because of convenience, and C, because it just gets the job done much better. And that is a phenomenal growth engine for us in the categories that we operate, particularly in retail, in the B2B and the B2C, the B2E areas. It is also now coming into mainstream into insurance, right? The property and casualty sector that we particularly focus on. You also see autonomics and cloud. I mean, everything which can be automated will be automated. And there is no debate and no discussion with our customers. The customers want to automate almost 80-90% of the stacks, particularly in the back office sector. And that's the reason you're actually seeing such phenomenal over 50% growth into that. Omni-channel is right now just focused only on retail as a category. However, we do believe that insurance is right around the corner. As soon as the legacy transformation starts to happen in the insurance category, we do believe this will also become a critical component of differentiating capabilities into the insurance sector itself. Mr. Goenka in the opening comment actually talked about the city of San Diego win. We are exceptionally proud of that win. It's a mega win, $80 million contract that we win on our cloud and infrastructure services business. That category of offering is changing dramatically, and it is one of the biggest investment area for us, and we feel pretty good about the complete new service offerings that we have built around the persona-based end user computing, the persona-based service desk, because now the workplace as a service itself is changing. We are all sitting here, this becomes a workplace because you are filing reports from here, you are doing transactions from wherever in the world you kind to operate. And hence, the system that supports all of us, the system that supports you, needs to be aligned to the persona that you are currently, adapting to. Same is the case with the DevOps environment, in the agile, world, in the cloud as a service platform. So all of that is coming together in a completely new technology stack that we have put together. Vinci is our offering, which is a cloud orchestration platform. Everything which can go to cloud will go to cloud. It's already started moving, and that's the reason you are seeing cloud-based organizations are delivering significantly higher growth, and hence it is our biggest market opportunity in the cloud infrastructure services to drive machine learning and AI along with automation into the DevOps, into the data centers, and into the workplaces of the future. So that's the second, big category of item. The third, return on digital. The last time I was here, I talked about it. Return on digital is our pivot. In a minute, if I can explain what it simply means, much like return on investment, which is so very well known to all of us here, return on digital basically means creating business impact through digital transformation program for our customers, which are A, measurable, B, sustainable. And the only way you can actually do that is if you pre-invest into creating platforms and solutions yourself. And that is our biggest differentiator in the marketplace today. We have over 30 different platforms that we have built, which have gone through 430 releases in the last 18 months. There are over 900,000 downloads that till date we have now done onto them. In the last 12 months, we have filed 25 patents in our company. For the first time ever in the history of our company, we have taken the culture of innovation really at scale. And we feel pretty good with the pipeline of innovative ideas that are coming in, which aligns now to not just creating unique proposition, but also has helped us win into every of those large deals that we have won and also that we are fighting. We talked about the kind of deals that we have won here. Over $600 million worth of TCV deals. These are normally 5-7-year deals that we have won. Again, for the first time in our company, we have now started to fight bigger deals and win bigger deals. And these are in different stages of implementation. Some are in transition, some are in steady state, but they represent the entire section of the business that we focus on. They represent retail, they represent insurance, and certainly the manufacturing segment itself. They also represent the service lines, application and digital as a service line, and cloud and infrastructure as a service line. So omnipresent into the category of deals that we have fought and we have won, and we feel pretty good about the pipeline of the deal that we have today, and also the readiness of the organization. As you fight mega deals, $50+ million TCV is what we call mega deal. $25+ million are large deal. There are several of them we have won, as we've shown. Several are in the pipeline. So the readiness and the ability of the organization to execute complex transaction today is at place, right? Which was not there, a couple of years ago when we had started this journey. M&A, the first two acquisitions that we did, Foolproof we acquired in November of 2016, and Keystone we acquired in April of 2017. Most recently, we have acquired Cynosure. And the first two acquisitions are doing exceptionally well. They are ahead of their plan. And they are now an integral part of our offering itself to the marketplace here. Cynosure, it is in the stage of integration. Hopefully by end of this month, we will complete the integration absolutely as per plan and schedule. And now the go-to-market for Cynosure has just started to take place, where we are taking the core Guidewire platform capability to our P&C customers. Insurance is 15% of our total business. And most of the insurance companies are still quite dated in the way they run their technology infrastructure. For the insurance companies to be digitally relevant and be relevant in the business, they have to invest a lot into changing the platforms. The platforms that are leaders in the marketplace is Guidewire. And hence we took a decision to actually acquire Cynosure, which is one of the very few Guidewire implementation partner. Along with our digital capability at front end, now the platform capability coming from Guidewire through Cynosure, we feel pretty good about the opportunity that we have for this particular market space. Digital talent, we just crossed 9,000 Zensarians around the world. We have 9,000 of our people. In the last 2 years, we have actually trained them over twice. 100% training on digital certification at multiple levels of expertise, and they all have to pass a test. This is not just training for the sake of training. If you don't pass a test, you're not certified, right? Because we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our customers, that whatever capability we build in our company must be relevant to creating value for our customer. We've been very thrilled and very humbled to receive this recognition from Skillsoft very recently, actually a couple of weeks ago, where across several companies they picked us up to have invested so much of our effort and time into creating this digital learning academy and having put our entire workforce twice in the last 2 years. It's the right thing to do, because we have to make sure that our people are aligned into not just the core experience-led digital technologies, but more focused on creating blockchain, artificial intelligence, the augmented reality, mixed reality, serverless computing, and certainly the NLP, the natural language processing. Because pretty soon, you're actually not going to have a touch-based interface. You will have voice-based interface. You're not going to be able to type. You can type for sure, but the option available as you use Siri and Alexa at home, you will use something similar at work to do complex business transaction and discussions. And hence, we are investing ahead of the curve into several other areas to train our people. We've also changed the positioning of our company into the marketplace, and that's also the reason why we have been getting invites, and we are getting invited into several of those large deals. So Harvard very recently published a case study just about 2 months ago into the new transformation that we are driving at our company. Forbes has talked about it. Gartner has talked about it. So when world-class institutes start to talk about what we are doing as a living digital company and trying to help our customers to transform, it obviously feels very good because it's the right thing to do, but expands the catchment area for the deals to come in and also for our ability to attract new talent in the marketplace. To sum it up, over the last 2 years, we've really built the foundation quite well for our company. Overall, the company-wide growth last year was about 5.6%. In the core businesses, and we have called out in the last investor meeting, the core businesses which excludes MVS, which is a break-fix part of the hardware maintenance business, the legacy business for us, and ROW, the rest of the world. Everything else is core. Core business has grown close to 10%, ahead of the industry curve, and this is one matrix which we are quite committed to drive much higher and substantial growth here. Digital, we've talked about it, on a full year basis is now close to 38+% of the business. And as Pramod said, watch this curve, you will see much higher substantial growth into this. The other area which we want to also call upon is work on a fewer things, but do them damn well. So we want to work with fewer focus regions, fewer verticals, fewer customers, but make sure that whatever we do with them is relevant to them. We matter. And hence our focus on multi-million-dollar relationships. The $5+ million per annum relationship is a category that we watch quite closely, and we have a pretty unique methodology of 3 in a box, which is a go-to-market team, a delivery and practice team, and a digital evangelist, because we are a digital company. And that number, as you see, is inching up from 11 to 14 to 17, and we feel pretty good that it will continue to have good growth trajectory here. We've talked about the mega deal. The other regional area which I want to call your attention to is UK plus South Africa for us is a core part of our business. One very little known fact about Zensar is we are probably the largest Indian IT company in South Africa. 10% of our business comes from South Africa. I don't think there's any other IT company which has 10% of its business coming from South Africa. We have over 500 Zensarians in South Africa. UK plus South Africa combined has grown from 20% to now 26+% in the last 2 years. And that's an area where we have continued to invest into creating local talent. We hire locally into UK as well as South Africa, invest into the relationships that we have been building into these categories. The retail and insurance, if you take a look at the CAGR, has done exceptionally well. Retail is now close to about 20% of the CAGR. Insurance is close to 12% of the CAGR. Our revenue concentration from top tier account continues to do quite well. The top 20 account, because of the unique facet of client engagement and digital evangelist, is now at about 56% of the overall business. And hence, putting all of this thing together, I think we are on a pretty good wicket, to borrow from Anant on his all cricketing analogy and cricket focus. So we feel pretty good on a good wicket that we are here. Sum it up, the financial parameters that we called out here is in front of you. I think all the facets from revenue to EBITDA to gross margin. Revenue grew reasonably well. EBITDA and PAT grew moderately. EBITDA, we had a few one-timers expenses because of some weakness in a particular of our customer, but that should come right back up. So overall, I think we feel pretty good about the investments that we have done in our company and the kind of deals that we are fighting, the innovations that we have put, and really the culture of, outperformance that we are putting at Zensar. And hence, if you actually see the last 2 months, I thought that I'll put this slide here. The last 2-3 months, the stock has done actually quite well. So thank you very much for all your support. And we look forward to absolute great engagement with all of you. Thank you.